We are all living under enormous pressure. Pressure from our jobs, our families and friends, and society as a whole. This tremendous amount of pressure weighs on us heavily. It gives us shoulder, neck, and back problems because we are carrying so much weight. That pressure weighs on our mouth and makes it difficult to smile. And yet when we have no pressure, our corners of our mouth naturally rise. Without pressure, we are bouncy, light, and we have boundless energy. But with pressure, we can have a million things we need to be doing, and we will be unable to do anything. And then, usually, we put more pressure on ourselves to finally get those things done, and we just crumble under that boulder of pressure. Welcome to Path to Peace with Todd Perlmutter. I'm your host, Todd Perlmutter. Our world is a projection of our collective consciousness. The more peace we bring into our lives, the more peace we bring into this world. So let the transformation begin. So the first thing that I say to do when you don't feel like doing anything is to get comfortable not doing anything. To really allow for what you are feeling. Because that is the start of removing that pressure. Now, I don't mean for weeks and months, but maybe for a day, maybe for an hour, 2 hours. Let yourself sink in to that feeling. Allow, accept, and embrace everything you're feeling with no pressure, no judgment. And often what we will find is that it's not actually nothing that we feel like doing. Because usually we're doing something. We're not just sitting there staring at the ceiling. Usually we're doom scrolling. We're looking at social media, which tenses us up and makes us hold our breath. Or we are looking at the news or zoning out to some entertainment. And if we could use that time to embrace doing nothing, to actually stare at the ceiling, to actually just focus on our breath and make sure it's calm and relaxed. Usually what we find very quickly is that we have the energy and desire to do something. Now, oftentimes, that something is to pull out our phones or to turn on the TV. But this is where I want you to resist that urge. Sit with that feeling and avoid the phone and technology. And almost always what happens is that whatever we've been putting off, whatever we know we should be doing, suddenly becomes easy, effortless, and desirable. Because it is only when those escapist tendencies are so convenient that we would rather do that than face whatever we need to be facing. When we don't have the devices or the substances or the food or whatever we find an easy pleasure, then that more rewarding task that takes some effort becomes much more desirable than actually doing nothing. So counterintuitively, when you don't feel like doing anything, don't do anything. Truly do not turn to whatever you normally fill up your time doing that is not beneficial to your greater purpose, and sit there until that urge to move arises. We all have these highly active brains that do not let us sit around for too long. They enjoy rest after hard work, but very quickly, urges and impulses motivate us to get to work, to do those things that translate into earning food, or building relationships, or exploring this magnificent earth. We all need these times of rest. We all need a meditation retreat that can be just at our own house. And when we do it without the pressure, that's when that rest is truly rejuvenating. Here is the beauty about pressure. Our friends and family and parents and bosses can all give it to us, and they all will try, at least. But the beauty of pressure is we choose what to take on and what to avoid picking up. We are the gatekeepers of pressure. No one else can give you their pressure unless you take it. And normally, we unconsciously take on the pressure of the world all the time. As children, we practically have no choice. We don't have the tools to withstand the pressure of adults. But the more we grow in consciousness, the more we expand our awareness to other people's pressure and our own, the more we become conscious of any subtle pressure that we pick up, and we can release it. But we have to become aware of all of that pressure in our lives. And sometimes it's well-meaning. Oftentimes our family will worry about us, and that is pressure. That is stress that they put onto us. And it's an act of love, but it is their stress, worry, and pressure that they are offloading onto us. And even though they want the best for us, that can become pressure that we internalize. We don't want to let them down, and so we take on their pressure. Or in a more insidious way, we subconsciously, because we grow up with these family members, we believe that love is stress, worry, and pressure. And so on some subconscious level, we believe that pressure is good, that it serves us in some way, that it can be a comforting, familiar experience because it's what we always have known. And so understanding how this pressure hurts us and how it in no way benefits us is essential to releasing that pressure. So feel where in your body you are holding on to pressure, that you are putting pressure on yourself. And from there, we can start to breathe in some relaxation into that area and begin to move that tension through our body, down our legs, through our toes, and into the earth. Unclenching our jaw, relaxing our face, and reminding ourselves that there is no rush. There is no time frame for our lives, no schedule that we have to stick to. We can let life unfold like every flower knows how to do on life's own time without rushing it. We can be firm in our patience. And one of the quickest hacks to releasing that pressure is forgiveness. Forgiving ourselves of our mistakes, forgiving others of theirs, and doing so as quickly as possible, because that is what most pressure comes from. We feel like we should have done something else. We wished we were better or have made more progress, and we lose our temper, or we didn't get as much done as we planned to. Instantly forgive yourself. Release all of that negative energy. You don't need it. You are not supposed to be infallible. And we all make mistakes. And really, it comes down to this. Do you want the people you love most to be extra hard on themselves? To dwell on their mistakes? Or do you want them to forgive themselves instantaneously and get back to being that light, loving self? And if that answer is yes, that you want that for others, then you must do that for yourself. We don't need to dwell in apologies. We don't need to be hard on ourselves for an extended period of time. If you are trying to be a good person, if you are trying to improve and make progress, then you are far ahead of most people, and you don't need the pressure on yourself. So the quicker you can do that reset, the quicker you can shake it off and get back to doing what you know you need to be doing, the better. So we can either be stressed and on edge all the time, or we can learn to let go faster than we accumulate stress, mistakes, regret, pressure. And even if the whole world is yelling at you that you made a mistake or that now is the time to panic, you can calmly say no, because there never is a time to panic. And this is what all great leaders instinctively know. And it's precisely in those times when everyone is saying that now is the time to panic that we need those calm leaders more than ever. And make sure that you don't give your pressure to anyone else. We think we need pressure. We think it's a motivator. But any job can be done two ways. We take pressure and we work slowly and begrudgingly, or we don't take on any pressure and we do it with lightness and enthusiasm. Bosses may want you to do it the first way, but just say, trust me, because everything gets done better without pressure. Pressure only weighs on us until we crack. Pressure is not what allows success. The difference between wealth and poverty is not pressure. The difference is focus. A factory with no pressure and no focus will get nothing done. A factory with pressure will get some things done. A factory with no pressure and great focus will always win. This is when we are our most productive, our most creative, our most healthy, vibrant, energetic, confident, and courageous. All pressure does is make us want to conform, to be different, to be accepted, which only leads to insecurity, doubt, and fear. So start accepting you, your moods, your energy levels, because it's the resistance that is going to drain you. It's the fighting reality and living under the weight of the world that will make doing even the smallest thing feel impossible. You can still set big goals. You can even fail joyfully. And you can get right back to climbing that endless mountain of life with optimism and enthusiasm. You can still have high standards for others and leave any situation with endless love and zero guilt. When you remove the pressure you put on yourself, and when you remove the pressure you put on others, every situation, every social interaction becomes easy and effortless. There's no difference between speaking to a crowd of 1 million people and speaking to one person, except the pressure. There is no difference from taking on some huge task like moving or changing cities or changing jobs or having hard conversations with people and scrolling on your phone. It's just different activities. The only difference is the pressure we put on ourselves. There is no reason we need to tense up and take on stress or pressure because 1 million people are watching us or because we're being judged by our boss. Are people hypercritical and judgmental? Are they angry and looking for someone else to blame? Oftentimes, yes. But that is not your problem. That is not your pressure. That is their reality that you do not have to adopt. No matter what is going on with other people, you are allowed to smile. You are allowed to be happy. Even if the whole world is burning, you're allowed to be happy. There's no one else who can put pressure on you but you, even though the whole world will try. So be a radical. Make your mantra, where is there pressure? What am I thinking and worrying about? That's it. Keep this topic top of mind, and you will stay free, light, and happy. Always be investigating. Is there any pressure in my body or mind? Am I light and happy or dour and worried? Am I worried what other people will think? Am I worried I'll look foolish? And let it all go. Laugh off every negative thought. When you are totally light, when there is no weight on you, and your mouth naturally drifts up into a smile for absolutely no reason, that's how you'll know you've gotten down to all the layers of pressure. Oftentimes, the pressure we feel comes from our childhood, where someone said a mean word, and we can change our entire lives trying to avoid that circumstance again. We can live walking on eggshells, and it is exhausting. So whatever pressure you've picked up from anybody throughout your life, dig deep, find it, and give that weight back. And make sure you don't pick up anyone else's. Maybe that pressure served you when you were younger, but now it is stealing your joy, and that is no way to live. Pressure prevents wise action. It does not enable it. Your number one job in life is to keep other people's pressure off of you. This really is life or death. To either live joyfully or to die a little every day while you're still alive. And that pressure is blood vessel contraction. It is heart disease. It is tension in our organs. It is back pain. It is joint pain. It is all the very real results as if we are truly carrying enormous weight on our backs. We are all under loads of pressure to be different than we truly are, from kids to adults. So start accepting everyone, starting with yourself, the good and the misperceived bad. It's all good, it's all human. Everybody is doing their very best. We all can only do what we are capable of at this moment. So forgiveness isn't only stress reducing, it is wisdom. This is what it means to be lighthearted without being crushed under the weight of negativity, worry, pessimism, and fear. Focus on what you can do and don't worry about what you can't do. And then get to it for the joy of doing. Set your own pace. Set your own tone. And that is how we push back on the pressure the world is trying to push on us. Once you get that weight off of your chest, once you have fully accepted yourself, forgiven yourself, and accepted and forgiven others, let go of that past. Don't worry about the future. And instead of thinking, feel what your heart calls you to do. The heart always knows. Thank you so much for listening. Much love. To go even deeper on this topic, a YouTube web series has just been released called Lost and Alone: The Secrets of Finding Yourself. And it is for especially when we're feeling stuck, confused, adrift, not sure what to do and where to go. This series is for you, and it'll be coming out every Sunday for the next couple weeks. I've also just come out with a new book called 10,000 Mental Steps, A Happiness Challenge. And that is available on Amazon, and that dives deep into all of the little ways that we can be releasing that stress, that tension, and pressure that weighs on us. So we are free to be happy and healthy so that we can get back to doing what we need to do to live a life of meaning and purpose. Hope you enjoy. You have been listening to Path to Peace with Todd Perlmutter. Being here and putting in this important and noble work is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself and others. If you found this podcast even a little helpful, please make sure to leave a review so it can reach others who may be in need. And remember, the path to peace starts with a single step.